side of the story. Real talk, inspirational conversation. My disability is not an ability. I can still do other things better. Listen to our side of the story.
Hello, Kaizini. Welcome to the first episode of Our Side of the Story. My name is Kayla, a girl who can't see but can hear, who can't see but can walk, who can't see but can talk. But in everything that you do, just know that I can see you. Welcome to our first episode of Our Side of the Story. Riteni, guys. Riteni. This is our first episode, and this is a start of something positive, innovative, and something educational and something fun. Guys, please like, subscribe, follow, and share. And please do leave comments, guys. We will also answer to all of your questions. So before we start with today's show, maybe let us talk about what the podcast stands for. Guys, let me take you back to 5 years back when I lost my eyesight. I remember when I lost my eyesight, when I had started realizing that, no, you know what? This means now that I have this disability, and that means I am going to sit at home and not do anything with my life. I'm just gonna be there as Kayla. Guys, honestly, I saw myself as Ifenisha, to be honest, because I didn't have anyone to look up to and say, okay, there's someone living with a disability that I know, longa boni, that I can say, oh, okay, this person is actually successful with a disability. There was no one around my area that I could actually point out and say, lo muntu was successful with a disability. So, mina ngaba that image yokuthi, okay, that means when you have a disability, it means good when I get so you're and not do anything with your life. Then also when I started looking for a special school, I found it hard to find a special school. Guys, it was hard to find a special school. And it's also not just a matter of scarcity, but then it's a matter of how we are less educated about a special school name. Because I think Tinena as abantu, we think that when something is not happening to us, we don't want to educate ourselves about us. Because as someone that had all abilities 5 years back, I wouldn't have thought Gucci one day in life I'd have a disability or I'd meet someone learn a disability. So I didn't actually choose to educate myself about these things. So this is what the podcast stands for. We are trying to change that narrative. We're trying to educate people about disability. We're trying to educate people that disability does not mean the end of the world. We are trying to inspire someone who is sitting at home and not doing anything with their lives. And we're trying to tell them that you can do it. If I could do it, you can also do it. Also trying to educate people who are not living with a disability. With guys, you need to learn to interact with us because we are living in the same world. It's not like there's a world for Abantula that have a disability and Abantu that are abled. No, we are all in one world and we're breathing the same air. So we need to learn to interact with each other. So guys, I'm not alone. I can never be alone. I'm a co-host Wami. I'd like them to introduce themselves.
I think I can go first. Sanbonani Makaya, Babugeli, everyone who's watching. As she had said, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. So every time she drops or every time there's a new video, you guys can get the video. My name is Layrilo. I think some people know, some people don't. That's okay. There's literally every lesson to learn every day. So maybe today what you've learned is there's a new podcast that's made for you, and it's my name as well, maybe me, let me say. But for those of you that don't know me, I produce, I make music, I sing as well. People are gonna ask what do I sing? I love maybe saying I am in dance music for now. Yeah, I am in dance music. So it means I'm a piano, three step, EDM, basically, as well. So there's so many things that I am also behind. Apart from music, there's so many things that I'm doing in my life. So maybe as we go, you guys will get to learn about some of those things. And just to add on top of what she said as well, I think we also need, as people who are living with disabilities, I think maybe as well it's important for me to say, for those that don't know, that I am also blind. I can't see anything. So even if this room has lights or whatsoever, I can't see those lights. You see, so but
Uthathile Eskom, am I like, you know, when I'm saying that now, I remember this time when I recently lost my sight, and like I started engaging with people who were blind, like that was like months later. And then people kept on saying, so Eskom Uthathile my light. I didn't understand what they meant, like for real. Like it took me so much time to understand Gucci. Oh, when they say Eskom Uthathile my light, they mean Gucci, oh yeah, now totally blind.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's eternal load shading, actually. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Basically, that's me. And I think for those that don't know as well, I think it's important for me to tell everybody that we are blind, we are disabled. But what I usually tell my friends is that there's only one world where we can all live.
That's true.
And there's a quote that I love from myself is that at some times I think it reminds me of a lot of things, especially when I feel like people don't really take their time. People are so ignorant. When they see you, they want to ask you a mere, maybe, I don't know, maybe people don't know, but people are going to ask you if you bathe yourself. For me, guys,
that's
asking
true.
me if me as Gezi, are like,
That's wild.
you understand that? So, but now for me, it's like it goes to show that people are actually ignorant outside there. I mean, that's a simple thing that you can actually Google, social media check. There's so many of us that are putting content that's blind people out there. So I just want to say, if you don't know, if you want to learn more as well, it's good to follow me as well on my socials. Everywhere I go, my stage name is Layrilo, which is spelled as Lyrilo. Omabatama hitaga peli, itama hitaga peli wena.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lwazi, and I would like to say, I find the importance of this podcast just to spread the word and let people know that people living with disabilities are also here. And what I've realized on my daily life is that a lot of people actually do not understand the disabilities. They find it hard to approach other people who live with disabilities because they don't understand how to approach them, and as well as understanding what the other person is going through. So I hope this podcast can be very educational to you guys and help you spread the word as well. And yeah, we're with you guys.
Thank you. Guys, ngathi ngashaya ivosho because this is so exciting. Okay, guys, let's have a icebreaker just to let loose nyana, ne? Because I don't want us to be all uptight because I don't know usually, ne? When we are talking about disabilities, people think that the mood needs to be now somber, depressing, and whatnot. So we're trying to change that narrative, guys. So, Lee, let me start with you. I'm gonna call you Lee. How ngimswati mina ngikhona ukubita amagama esitswana esipede.
Maswati akhona nje ukuthi Layrilo.
Layrilo.
Yeah. So there's so many Swati people that actually.
Okay,
maybe.
let me try. Layrilo.
That's a Siri version of it.
It's modified. It's AI.
Yeah, I see now, but for you, it's okay. I think you were right when you say once we speak about the word disability, I don't know. It's like you bought spinach, put it in the drawer for 7 to 10 days without touching it, it becomes disappointing when you look at it after those days for me, because it's so somber, it's no longer energetic, it's no longer fresh, it's no longer exciting to look at it. For me, that's how I see it. Because once you are disabled, there's so many stigmas actually that come with being disabled.
Yes. That's
So
true.
I get to hear a lot of people. I've witnessed a lot of cases. I've been in so many situations where people, when they see me, they sometimes you not sometimes. I always expect people to respect me as I respect everyone. But there are some kind of respect that I don't think I deserve. Like I remember, okay, this other time, so I arrived in my at the high institution that I am schooling at right now. So I remember those first Nyana days. There were times where where the campus where I come from, there's a lot of stairs. So now, when I was supposed to go to class, of course I'm new. I don't really know the place that much. I didn't know the place. So it means I had to rely from other people to like take me from A to B and A to Z. You see, so as I was figuring my way out, there were days where people would like, when I walk onto the stairs, people want to really carry me onto their back so I can
Aibo.
literally walk the stairs
You
or pass the
lie.
stairs. Sometimes people want to take my leg to the next step, like physically. I'm like, God,
No ways.
I can walk, man. What's happening with you, bro? Like, I just can't see.
You see, that's why you heard my introduction. I was like, it's Kayla, the girl who can't see but can hear, who can't see but can walk, who can't see but can talk.
You understand
Meaning
that?
I can't see, but I still have those other abilities.
You can do everything
see.
else. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so for my icebreaker question, okay, for you, Line, what is one thing that you find very, very weird that people living without disabilities do?
That they do to us, or maybe just
Like do generally and be like, and then when are you gonna be like, oh my word, like Mina, as someone who's living with a disability, I find it weird. I wouldn't do that.
Something you've never expected.
Now, you know, for me, I think personally, there's so many things that able-bodied people do that sometimes it gives me like some chills. There's so many, I think, especially, I don't know, maybe, you know, don't hear me wrong. I love partying. I love having nice, fun time and all that. But I don't think I get the idea of living for a whole weekend just for groove. For me, no. For me, I think I'm kind of a bit too busy to do that. And as a blind person as well, I don't think I can be able to afford that, to do that. You understand? Like, going for the whole weekend for grooves and whatsoever. If I want to have fun time, let me have fun time in my little corner and actually cruise nice, as Jacob Zuma said. I'm in Malima. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. What is it? Because for you, it's going to be different because you are partially sighted, right?
Yes, partially, yes.
What is that one thing that you found so disrespectful that a person has done to you as someone who's living with albinism?
Specifically with albinism, right? I wouldn't say it's quite disrespectful. I would say they're trying to figure out and understand my situation. But in my eyes, it would come across as kind of very weird in a sense for like, since my skin is quite different, someone would just touch it, do like weird stuff to it. Like, literally weird stuff. And then I'm like, okay, that's weird. But then as I went on and grew older, I actually realized that it's actually a person trying to understand my condition and trying to really see what's so different about me. For example, when I was in an Uber the other day, the Uber driver had quite a good conversation. It was based off of my disability. He was trying to understand my kind of condition. I explained myself, and then he actually said that, okay, he didn't know what kind of condition it is. Thus, it was quite difficult for him to approach people living with my kind of disability, and not just my kind of disability, but all the different kinds of disabilities. So I feel like not disrespectful, but kind of on the weird side, the skin touching, and as well as trying to test my eyesight, for example.
Yeah.
Like, I already told you that I can't see properly, but then you keep on, trying to test it on your own to see whether I'm lying or not.
Can I actually understand what do you mean by they're trying to test your eyesight?
Like move,
Move
you
their
mean like
fingers,
someone
yeah.
when moves your hand and whatnot.
No.
Move their fingers.
Yeah, that's true. They do that because, like, Nami, when I lost my eyesight, like when it was still fresh, I had a bit of eyesight, and like, but I couldn't see Vele. Like it was sort of like, but I could see like when someone was moving their hands in front of me. So now, when like I would meet people and tell them that I can't see, they would want to do this. And like I found it so annoying. I don't want to lie, Shem. And when you're talking about the thing of people wanting to touch your skin, you're reminding me of that time when we were at CBD, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then like this other guy just gave you those puffy things for free. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
It comes with
That's kind
advantages,
of like the
having a
benefits.
disability.
That's kind of like the benefit.
What are those perfect things?
It's like snacks in a way.
For free, imagine.
Yeah, no, I think that's the thing about having a disability. There's a good side of it
And a bad.
and a
as well.
bad side. It's like a knife.
True.
Yes.
That's a good side of it and a good bad side of it. Because when it's bad, it's bad. You're gonna still but now I'm going through the sharp knife actually. Yeah, now I'm experiencing it. There's so many things that it comes with as well when you are just disabled. Sometimes you're gonna get freebies. Sometimes you are going to be closed from accessing things that everyone is accessing.
You're gonna be discriminated.
Basically.
But when it comes to those freebies things, I feel like people can look at it in different ways. For example, I would look at it as a good thing, as a person trying to do nice. But if it was a different person who was in my shoes, maybe they'd see it as disrespectful in the sense of,
Why are you
since
beating me?
I have a disability, why are you doing this?
Yes.
Actually, some guys do that, especially some blind guys that I know of. When you're trying to show them the way, they're like, no, nah, bro. And they keep on bumping onto things.
They just
I
want to
don't do
themselves,
that.
yeah.
Because for me personally, I feel like, guys, if I can't see and I need help, I need help. It doesn't mean that even able-bodied people don't get lost. They do get
they
lost.
do.
And they do ask, why do I wanna shine on being blind or now? Nah. For me, I'm a person. Like I'm still a human being, and there's still no Ubuntu out there. So I shouldn't victimize myself and see everyone who wants to come and help or whatsoever and see them as a perpetrator. No, it doesn't work like that.
But don't you think, Uti, sometimes it's a matter of being scared for your own safety? Like, when sometimes I'm like, I do love asking help. Mina, I'm confident with asking help. But then sometimes I contemplate, I'm going to be like, yo, but like, is it safe for me to ask help here? Because like now I'm exposing myself to this person that I can't see, and like this person can do anything.
What if they take advantage?
Yeah, what if they take advantage? Sometimes it's that fear. But with other things, I think Aban Bayat.
Can I sorry, just cut you before. I want to say I'm from Mpumalanga, right? And I think I've been here in Pretoria for like 8 years. And I've been traveling alone from Mpumalanga to here. And sometimes I would meet like in your place, Mabula, I'm for boy. I've got my own, maybe sometimes I have like 3 to 4 bags that I'm carrying. I don't know, somehow I trusted those Nyopes guys. And they always take me where I want to.
And they won't take anything from you.
Sometimes I have like fast money, like maybe 200 or whatsoever money. They be like, "Hey, mega boys." And I can't do that because now I can't I can't take out that money and want to give them like two rand, 10 rand whatsoever. Sometimes like I don't have. And you're gonna see them, they'll like, nah, but they'll be like complaining, nah, bro, I'm taking you there, ain't giving me none, like all this and all that. I'm like, hey, sorry, but other times, don't worry. I'm still gonna meet you. One key to Musgara.
Yo, I
You understand? Like, you gotta know your way out, bro.
would never.
So for me, it's like it also depends on are you as a person, like what's your personality like? I'm not trying to say all the people that maybe something happened to them is because of their personalities or what. But I'm just saying, if you know how to get out of trouble, you know how to. And if you can speak your way out, you can. And that's it. For me, that's how I feel. So as much as is that concern of safety, it's the same thing as when you Bolt, when you Uber, when you whatsoever e-hailing services. It's like a thing of, do you trust the driver that is taking you to where you are going? Because sometimes you don't know if they are driving you to where you're going. That's why I feel like the technology, when it comes to that, it kind of lacks because it doesn't tell you where you are going. But it's the same thing. You got to work on your gut.
And sometimes those drivers, they actually ask you, like, so aren't you scared that, like, you're traveling alone and whatnot? And instantly my gut goes up and be like, I'm
why
not
you
scared.
asking
Don't
that?
worry. My mom has my location on. She's tracking me right now as we speak.
Because I'm sure.
The other time I was traveling to Shanguve, and because usually when I use like long distances, I'm trying to look for an affordable trip, right, from here. So now what was happening is this guy was telling me about he was recently released from prison, and now he wants to repay revenge to this guy that took him into
What?
prison, and now he wants to do that. But he's contemplating if he really wants to do that because he might get back. And now he's telling me all these things. I'm like, yo, this guy is even gonna take me to where I'm going.
You are now the one who's contemplating your decision.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? I just gotta be brave. Show him that I'm not scared. You know, understand what I'm saying? I was like, if I panic or whatsoever, I don't know. But let me just be calm and let me have the composure. Show him that now, bro, I understand where you're coming from.
Because going on that, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's very important for people living with disabilities to actually have a strong backbone. For example, don't get pushed around easily.
Yeah,
Don't be
a
rude.
pushover.
Don't be rude. But as well, like don't let people lead you in a way. Like have your backbone. Whenever you see that you're being done wrong, actually speak it out. There are people out there who actually have good empathy, good hearts, and will actually listen. As you were saying about the Nyaupe guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also got assisted by a Nyaupe guy.
Me so many times.
The fact is, like, I actually told him that, you know what, guy, I can't see properly. You know, that, right, could either go good or bad. Because, for one, he can actually take advantage of the fact that I can't see properly. But what I've realized, majority of the time, the people will actually help you. As long as you tell them what your situation is, they'll understand. For example, there was a friend of mine, right? He was around the areas of Montana. So manje bebambamba inkunzi yena. And
He
then,
can't see.
Yeah, he can't see.
Whoa.
Now, right, he doesn't understand what's going on.
Ooh.
But then he tells the guy, you know, I'm not going to give you my stuff. The guy goes forward, approaches, and then he actually finds it weird that the person is not moving back or being afraid.
Because he
And then
couldn't see that
he
the
couldn't
person
see.
can't see. Like the person who was bambaring the nkunzi couldn't see that he's bambaring a person who can't
Who's
see.
blind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now, as soon as Umuntu Loya, with the blind person, tells them, which, no, man, I can't see, so I don't know what you're doing. Then then the person who was
Bambaring him.
bambaring the nkunzi actually stopped and then had like some self-reflection moment.
Shit.
And
Where
then
was the cane?
like, the cane. He's one of those who just walks without the cane, you know. So after that, the person who was bambaring Nkunzi wasn't as hostile as he was. So now it comes back to Guti, as soon as you explain your situation, it could actually help you in certain situations. Mainly if like you're looking for help. One thing I've learned is don't be scared to ask for help. Because there are some times where like you're like, oh no, should I ask this person? How will they look at me? You know, those kind of things.
So now, like you see with the things that you guys were saying in terms of like maybe the things that you find weird that people do, like people
Yeah.
living without disabilities do. Sometimes I feel like gutselela, like on a serious note, bayatselela on a serious note, because some things you really don't have to be educated about in order for you to know not to do it. Like I remember this other time I was with my friend, like she's also living with albinism, and then this other guy was like to her, hello, Lihua.
Yeah, I hate that word.
Like, hello, Lihua. Like, do you need to be educated for you to know that you're not supposed to say that to a person living with albinism?
Well, I think, right, what I've noticed, I've been called this quite a lot, by the way. What I've noticed is that many of the older people, if it's like a person who's older, and usakbiza ngalelo gama, I feel like they know what they're doing. They really know what they're doing. But if it's a kid who calls you by that, the kid doesn't know. Maybe they were not educated about Uguti. No.
Morally,
Uguti
they
law.
don't know
Yeah.
the difference between right and wrong.
And wrong as well. And then I feel like they were not educated, or maybe the parents don't have much to say, you know, in terms of like educating them. Uguti, no. Elekhoa umuntu oso, and then Law is living with this kind of condition. And he's just like you. Like, one
But
thing
bro,
I've been saying,
before you continue, why do you want to shy away from saying disability? There's a lot of people that don't want to use that word.
I'm
Maybe
not shying
give us
away, but then the problem is the moment someone says disability, as like you said in the opening, right? People look at it in a negative manner. So now the thing is, what I'm trying to do is like bring it to the positive. Like having a disability is not a problem. You're just disabled. Maybe you can't do one or two, but that doesn't hold you back from doing something else or achieving your dreams, chasing things you want to do that other people can do. Like, for example, the Paralympics.
Yeah.
People with disability, I'm sure back in the days, they thought, no, people with disability won't be able to do this running thing or
Yeah.
this. But look now, we can do this. We can do anything.
You're eating apples that side.
Yo. Yeah, no, I'm munching. chef. Right?
No, that's true. But guys, tell me, what do you think of like the difference between someone who was born with a disability and someone who like got a disability along the way? What do you guys think about that?
I feel like it's quite different, hey? Because as a person who grew up with a disability, I feel like my experience is totally different from yours. Because a person who just, for example, I woke up with a disability tomorrow, finding your footing is going to be quite hard. That's what I think.
Yeah, it
And
will,
then, yeah.
Shem. But like, as someone who was born with this name, like, tell me in terms of like you accepting yourself, because I think as much as you were born with this, right? You somewhere along the line, when you started realizing that you're actually different from other kids, didn't it like affect you in certain ways, and also in terms of like how people would engage with you, or certain things that people would say to you before like you got old, right? Like maybe when you were still young and like you started realizing, oh, I'm actually different, man.
Yeah.
So like, how was it to you?
Yeah, it was not a good journey. I must say, I cried quite a lot. But one thing I would say is having a strong parent by your side is quite very important, because it brings you back, you know? Like you go into the outside world, and then you meet these different people who do not understand what you're going through. And then through that misunderstanding, it kind of almost isolates you, right?
Yeah.
And then it puts like, no, I can't say pressure, right? But then like a lot of heartache, if I may say.
Yeah.
A lot of heartache. And then having to go back home to a parent who actually understands you, explains to you, okay, this is what happened. This is why they did this, you know? It's because they didn't understand. And also a parent who's actually active. If umntwana is being bullied at school because of their difference, and your child comes and tells you, I feel like as a parent, you shouldn't just look away from that.
Yeah.
You should engage. Like for my mother, for example, before I went to a special school, I went to like a public school. I used to get bullied quite a lot because of I was different. And you know what? I went back to my mother. I explained. I'm telling you now, she didn't take that lying down. She went there, spoke to the school, made them understand, would you know, this is not right. And like there has to be a bit of change. After that, the school actually spoke and invested more into educating the children about different types of people, different cultures, as well as like different disabilities,
Yeah.
which helped with like other kids accepting me, because it kind of took a lot, right? Because, for example, I'm partially sighted and my skin pigment is very different from everyone else.
Yeah.
So as I was growing up, it was kind of hard to mix in with the other kids. But then as time progressed, I feel like they actually noticed that like I'm a person just like them. And it was like a normal thing now. No problem.
What are the other benefits of being having your condition? What are the benefits, or maybe during that time, what were some of the benefits that it came with, or there weren't any?
I would say back then, around the 2000s, right? There wasn't many benefits because there wasn't any initiatives in order for like people who are living with different types of disabilities. For example, when I was in the school, it was hard for me to see on the board, right? So now I would actually get in trouble quite a lot because I wouldn't see what the homework is. I'd get scared to go and ask the teacher for help because at some point the teachers didn't understand the disability and what I was going through. So it led towards like getting punishments and such.
People living with albinism, they are partially sighted. Like they don't understand that you guys also have an eye problem. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Like they only think that okay, you're different in terms of skin color, but like in terms of like having a disability when it comes to your eyes, they don't know.
Actually, they think the disability is the skin.
It's just the skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as I was saying, right, back then, like the disability wasn't very much like catered for, if I can say so. Like it wasn't well educated enough. But as time progressed, that's when ngibonile ukuthi, okay, even the older people are actually taking a step forward to actually learning about different disabilities.
Yeah, I think I also have hey, sorry to give you this barrage with the questions. Okay, there's a very maybe sensitive.
No problem. Go ahead.
No. Maybe not for you,
Oh, but for the others, yeah.
for the viewers, because I know it's a very sensitive matter that I want us now to just to dive a bit, to tip in a bit about the issue of people believing that there's any good herbs or
Oh, muti.
muti,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
whatever. Because I know there's families that have really lost their loved ones through that.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying it's a very touchy
Topics.
topic to talk about. But what do you personally, when you sleep, when you close your eyes and you're about to sleep, when you go to a place, when you are at the very strangest place where you can be, what comes in your mind? Does that ever clock in your watch? Does that ever...
It's constantly there, if I can say.
Okay.
It's constantly there. Not with the people I know, right? I know some people you can trust them, but then they can, But then I feel like there are people who I can really trust in that manner. And going into new places, I don't know. For example, if I go to Masiting Hamang Etex, right? I go to a taxi, maybe in Jozi. Even till this day, I'm actually quite
Scared.
scared, and I'm even with my poor eyesight, I make sure Guti, I listen to everything that's happening. People can be having a conversation there. It wouldn't be in a manner of like I'm just eavesdropping, but
Yeah.
it's in a manner of like I'm trying to keep myself safe in terms of what if these people are talking about me and making a plan or whatnot. You know, I feel like it's very, you feel it quite a lot when you go into places you're very unfamiliar with because you don't know the people there. No one knows you there. So now the thing is, when no one knows you, if something happens to you, you don't know if that like the people around there are gonna help you or not, you know? So it's a thing of like staying on your toes, you know?
Yeah.
Staying on your toes and
Because you constantly feel like
keeping
there's a
up-
price on your head.
definitely.
That one is so scary, especially that one of the one that you're talking about, Lee, the one of Muti and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it scares me a lot. That's why, like, sometimes that's why I was saying that sometimes as a person living with a disability, you are sometimes scared to ask for help because you don't know
If the person has good intentions or not.
Yes. But at the same time, now that does not mean that we should sit at home and not do anything because like we can't stop living our lives because of such people. You see.
You know, if I have a very huge pleading to the public, maybe to the government as well, all the stakes out there that are going to have their ears into this piece, I feel like there's a lot in a bunch of information that needs to be shared out there. I feel like systematically we are outside South Africa. They always, there was a time, I think I was in high school, where I felt like, I think we were talking about, I think I was in my maths class because my maths class teacher was blind. So now sometimes we would have these silly conversations and all that and all that. I was like, you know what? Sometimes I feel like whatsoever grant that they're giving to people who are disabled, it's not equivalent to all the things that we struggle in life with. And the government sometimes takes to feel like they are doing everything just because of that stipend or whatsoever for the people who are disabled. You understand that? There are so many things that are priced, hiked, inflated because of you are blind. Then it means there's low demand for those things. So now they're gonna make the product as higher, as profitable as they can because they want to cash as much as they can. But the government does not subsidize all those things. But the government subsidize maybe like a maize meal, maybe like a bread, maybe like whatsoever. But things that we actually need, the government does not really subsidize all those things. You understand that?
Things like
Things like, maybe just to give an example, I need a cane. I need a smart. You know how much is a smart cane? It's
it's
a
very
very,
expensive.
Yeah.
very
Equipment for
very
people who are
expensive.
disabled are expensive.
You
to be
understand
honest.
that? Not to bring in everyone who's listening down, but I'm just saying it's a very inspirational piece. This is a very teaching piece and a learning curve, maybe for everyone who's listening, especially everyone who can do as much as difference as they can. Because I still feel like we do have a minister for persons who are living with disabilities. I don't know what they merged, the persons who are living with disabilities and women and children and whatsoever in one department, because I feel like those are very huge departments that needs to be separated for me personally. Because even now she can't really help us. There are so many campaigns. I think quite recently there's a campaign that is happening for now. I think it's Alzheimer or something. I think the sickness or whatsoever it is,
the one
respectfully,
that,
or forgetting. You understand?
yeah.
So now
Or
those
Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's.
Oh, yeah.
yes, something like that. So now there's a campaign that I've heard from SABC, from radios and whatsoever, that they run. I'm like, what if they would run a campaign that talks about people who are blind, people who are on wheelchairs, people who are actually living with disabilities, telling them about what we know, what we can do and what we can't. You understand that? That would actually go an extra mile because of there are so many things personally that I feel like the government does not do. I don't like blaming the government now and then because I'm my own government. But personally, what I feel, I just feel like personally the systems are actually locking us out. Low key, nje, but ngaphandle.
That's
Understand?
true.
But if I may say, right, one thing I've actually noticed as well is if you watch shows nowadays, they actually do spread the word. It might not be as direct as you might think, right? But they do spread the word. For example, I saw one of which had to do with like albinism, right? So I think the show was like Uzalo, where they introduced like an albino family and how they were like perceived in society and all of the things that were happening and all of the stigmas that were also involved. And I feel like they are trying to do like to put in the effort, because if you check in companies now, right, they have to include people living with disabilities as well as catering to them. Because as I was working in this other company, they didn't push us away that much. You see, I'm using that word that much.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, because they actually considered what kind of disability you're working with, how can we work around it and help you. In my case, I would need a bigger screen, right? If I'm like using a computer.
Yeah.
They would ask, what kind of screen would you want? Even though it might be expensive to the company, but they're catering to the people with like disabilities.
But do you think they are doing it because they care, or they are doing it for the numbers? And like, because of the new legislations, they don't have a choice. That's why sometimes you find these companies employing people living with disabilities, but when you're there, you are excluded. You're not like accommodated and whatnot, because they don't have a choice. You
I
see.
see.
So it's not always like the case. And also when it comes to the government, I don't understand, why are special schools so scarce? Like, why?
Ask
Like,
Madlang. I think that one, let's go ask Madlang.
I really don't know. Because like,
know.
you are saying that education, like we have the right to education, right? All of us, we have the right to basic education. But now as a person living with a disability, now I'm limited to getting that basic education when you don't provide those resources for me. Because let's say you find a special school, some of those special schools, there are no resources. There are no sufficient resources to accommodate.
Very under-resourced. Trust
Exactly.
me, believe me, I've been there, I've been through it. There's so many, let me say, South African schools at most. As a teacher, I would attest to that. They are very much under-resourced, because there is so many things that are happening in these special schools. They are under spotlight, another thing. There are so many things that are going in there, even wrong things, you understand? Because human nature is always going to be human nature. You understand that? So I think sometimes maybe we need to look closer into all these special schools. I think sometimes maybe we should actually make a day where we address the nation, But such things can never take place because the government, actually it's not a government. It's always been people who are in power. People who are in power, maybe let me say 1,000 years ago, whatsoever years ago, we always want to attack, we always want to talk, we always want to attend to issues when at peak level. But when the issues are still like at the lower level and it's things that we can still talk about and resolve, we don't want to talk about. Until now, we still much whatsoever. I could actually, I don't know if we can actually manage to organize. This is one thing that I've always thought about people who are living disabilities. Maybe one day we need to come up and tell all the people that can walk to walk, and tell all the people that can't see to guide all the people that can't walk, and tell all the people who can't speak to speak out. Because I feel like sometimes there are things that we need to let the government know that they don't know personally. It's not like, as I've said, I don't like to blame the government because the government is you. That's what I feel. All the people that are in the governance, it's because of you. So if we put them there, it means we trust them. It means we elected them. It means we have made them those people that they are right now. We've given them the wings. We've made them the heroes, the bad heroes that they are, the bad men that they are. So now, if you want to come as well, that's why I said the minister of the persons of disabilities and women. I think it's Cindy Siwe Chicago or something like
Is
that.
she disabled?
I don't think so. Let me be honest. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm still to be corrected, but I don't think she is disabled. Trust me, because of there's so many things that I feel like she was supposed to actually advocate for, but she doesn't. The only time where you're gonna hear about her, maybe whatsoever reason it can be, especially the women living with disabilities and women. I think the only time recently when I heard about her, it was that time when I think she was in fight with the podcast and chill and whatsoever. But I'm like, if you do have such a power, why don't you actually make other things happen? It means now you need something that has power to talk about it. It means us, because of we don't have the power, we don't want to talk about us and actually engage in our problems. That's why you don't trend when it comes to our own things. Why? Because if you don't have the power, you want to lean on something that is already propelling.
Because I think another problem, name, is that like having someone who doesn't have a disability as like putting them under the slot of leading people who have disabilities. Because now, how will it help me if you don't have experience of what I'm going through? Because usually experience is the best teacher.
Thank you.
Sometimes you find that like maybe like a school will send a quotation of that, okay, this school needs this amount of money for the equipment of people who are disabled. And then maybe like, let's say I'm making an example, the minister would say, no, that's too much money. They will say that's too much money because they don't have experience. They don't know how expensive those things are. Like they don't make it their own thing to actually go and research and know about these things. Sometimes, like, you know, when you're having like a person who is disabled leading other people who are disabled, it is actually better, because now when you go to that person and cry about your struggles, they actually understand. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, I relate, I know what you're going
Talking
through.
about, yeah.
You see.
But I think on another note as well, because there's so many things that personally we can talk about people who are living with disabilities and especially when it comes to the government. That's a very big head that we can talk about. But I think as well, let's just, maybe get to tell people what we are doing as well at our own personal spaces. Things that we've achieved just in our lives. And most importantly, in our lives or whatsoever lives that we have. Because I also think that people need to know that when you are blind, when you are disabled, when you can't walk, when you can't talk, when you can't what, you deserve to be loved.
Were you born blind?
No. I wasn't born blind.
When did you lose your sight and how old were you?
I think I was 8.
I would actually like to know how your experience was with that.
Yeah.
Having getting a disability.
When I lost my eyesight in 2010, it was during the World Cup and whatsoever.
2010.
2010, yeah. It was a very kind of disturbing moment because I was enjoying the atmosphere. It was very FIFA World Cup like.
Oh yeah.
It was so sad for me to just lose my eyesight out of nowhere. But it wasn't really out of nowhere. I think it was through illness.
Something which was building up over time.
Yeah, so it built up over time. After some long sickness or illness to say, I think it was like 2 months or something, and some days or whatsoever in 2010, and eventually I just lost my eyesight completely. 2011 I took a gap year. 2012 I went to a boarding special school, and that's the reason why I'm here today.
And mentally, how was it for you in terms of coping? Because now I remember when I lost my sight, I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And it affected me psychologically to a point whereby, guys, I think I was having bipolar. Guys, I was so depressed to a point whereby my hair was falling off. Like my hair had grown, like it was a bit long, but now because like I was so depressed, sitting at home, waking up, and now realizing that no, I'm actually disabled. I started having like depression, like I would feel
just sorry to cut you
itchy.
there. I think you were saying I've met your other video yesterday. You were like, now my hair can buffalo pondo. And
Yeah.
I just want everyone to just know that we can also, do social media type things. We do content. People can actually follow us. I think that's as well important for people too, because a podcast we also as well just make it as much as it's possible so people can listen in the time that they have at their disposal.
And
But if they want to
understand,
learn more as well, that I think personally, maybe where they can find you and other things related to that.
as well as the comment section, hey?
Yeah.
Or like people who need questions, like who have questions to ask and need clarification somewhere. Like you can put it there and we can hear you out and, answer the questions. So I think that's one of the other methods also. But I stick with you on that. Like go and check the other social media platforms as well and see how they're doing.
I think as well, I love the name of this podcast.
Yeah.
Our side of the story.
Our side of the
Our
story.
side, yes.
I think that's a very powerful, very inspirational, very driven, name. Personally, I feel like it's a very lovely name that I feel like some days it will actually grow to become a global sensation. That's what I feel. And I would always come back and then just, add my 2 cents, as they say. And thank you for having me as well. I think that's the very most important thing.
Yeah.
If people are interested to learn more about my personality, about my life, about
Your
Life.
because that's one of the quite really faster.
Sibalekile.
About
God.
about my love life, about my sex life,
Hi,
about my
Bo.
music life, and about other things as well. Just follow me on my socials. No, I shouldn't shy away. I don't love to shy away because we are human beings. So now it means we are human beings.
Yes.
Don't try to be an AI robot. I'm still a human being.
Oh, no.
Thank you. So now people don't forget to follow me socials at Layrilo Souther, which is spelled as LYRILO _South A. Basically, ngakhohlwa mabathama itaka peli ngitsama hitaka.
No, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Like, we can only educate you guys, but then in terms of like bringing change, it's a matter of person deciding for themselves that they want to bring about positive change or they want to change their attitude towards like people living with disabilities. So please tune in for more episodes.
Again and again. All right, I really don't have much to say about myself. Right now, I can't say much about myself. I'm still kicking off everything. Like on socials, my name is Lwazi. I think you can find me on TikTok, Insta, but it's still getting kicked off, as I'm saying. So there's nothing yet, but I promise that something is gonna come up.
Guys, we
And then we're
forgot to
gonna
mention that we
express.
are all university students. Isn't
Oh,
that
yes.
something to be proud of?
Actually, true.
I'm actually at my final year.
Ooh, graduate next year.
I can't wait to become a billionaire quickly.
Aye.
Oh, and for those who think they can't do any different courses in the university, guys, it's not that hard. You can do it even if you have a disability, even if like you have an eyesight problem or any kind of problem. It's not that hard. You can actually get in there and do it and push your all. Like right now, I'm already doing like my computer science degree. So it is quite difficult, right? But my main point is you can do it. My disability is not stopping me from doing it.
Your disability does not limit you.
Yeah, definitely.
That's true.
Our side of the story.
Our side of the story.
That's our
Guys,
side.
don't forget to comment, like,
And subscribe.
the most important, that's it. Subscribe. Hit that red button for notifications.
How do you know that it's red?
No, I've been here.
What if they are lying? What if it's not the red?
Even if it's pink.
Okay, guys, once again, it's your girl Kayla, the girl who can't see but can hear, who can't see but can talk, who can't see but can walk. And in everything you do, just know that I can see you. Guys, I'm just a girl from Mpumalanga who lost her eyesight when she was 17. And actually, it was around this month, the 21st of June. It will be my 5th anniversary this month. Since I lost my eyesight. But yeah, guys, I'm currently a university student. Clock it.
Clock it.
Yes, guys. So I'm currently starting this podcast to bring about positive change to the society, to inspire different people. And guys, thank you for watching this show. Thank you, Lwazi, for coming.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Layrilo. Hey. Lee. I'm gonna call you Lee now, but it sounds so girly.
Yeah, no,
Thank you, Lee, for coming. And yeah, please don't forget to follow us, guys, on our channels. We are there on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube,
Instagram,
our side of the story.
That was good.
Powerful.
Yo.
Our side of the story. Real talk, inspirational conversation. My disability is not an ability. I can still do other things better. Listen to our side of the story.